Hey everybody, I'm going to preface this one by saying that I do not support this group or any other group that uses intimidation tactics to make their way. And there are quite a few groups out there that do use intimidation tactics. And I'm talking about Antifa. And they have now, the Department of Homeland Security is trying to link them to a foreign government so that way they can use that and make them a terrorist group. Well, there's an article back in 2018 that was published by Rolling Stones magazine, which I will link to, that talks about that platoon and their fight against ISIS. And it's such a shame that they call themselves ISIS, because I know this will go on a little tangent, but one of the greatest cartoons for a while, Archer, they were called ISIS. And it's funny that when that cartoon was going on, when I first heard about ISIS, I went and did a little web search on it. And the first thing that came up was an Israeli contract security force. So a spy agency that was called ISIS. Yeah, it was just, anyways, it's kind of a little squirrel moment on that. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny that there was a spy agency called ISIS, or a security asset group called ISIS. Anyways, this group that was led by an Italian citizen decided to go and fight against the ISIS for the Kurdish forces, and then they got other people from around the globe to fight for them as well. They were an all English-speaking platoon, and they can definitely tell by their tactics that they talk about in that article. They were not trained very well. In the article, it does talk about that they were outfitted, some of their gear, by a group that was getting funding and arms and equipment from us, from the U.S., from the Department of Homeland Security. And it's kind of strange, or I guess not the Department of Homeland Security, the State Department, Department of Defense kind of esque thing. And it's very interesting that we're trying to link them to that group, but yet we ended up quasi-training him and quasi-helping him out, so it's kind of just a cluster. But it's funny that in the articles that you read them, that they talk about their tactics, their lack of knowledge of tactics, their lack of knowledge on how to do platoon movements, squad movements, even team movements. They're just kind of a cluster that they ran. They just kind of run around as like a JV team. Like, nobody really trained them. They're learning on the job, and war's not really something you want to learn on the job. That's how you get killed. But in the article, they talk about that they didn't know how to do any mount training. And if you're not familiar with what mount is, you should look it up. I'm not going to explain it to you. Anything about moving through cities, moving through areas, but it is a good article, and that I'm referring to the Rolling Stones article, and again I'll link to it at the end. Get down at the comments, or not the comment section, but down into the information of this. And same with the one from Newsweek that is trying to say that the Department of Homeland Security is trying to connect the dots, and I think you can kind of connect the dots from the name. Now, I don't believe that you can connect the dots as a simple, one and then two, like connect them easily. I think you got to go through a whole rigmarole, but the U.S. government is good about connecting those dots for how everything connects. So anyways, it's interesting, but I just figured, hey, this could be for people out there that are only going to get one side of the story. Well, here's two different articles. One was in 2018, and I think they started writing the article in 2016, and it took a couple of years because they went and they talked to people that were in it. But anyways, it's just something that you should check out, and you should realize that as much as I don't like this group and what they're doing, does not technically make them what we would consider a terrorist group. They're a bunch of hooligans. They're a bunch of jerks. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of with intimidation tactics against people, with surrounding people and then beating them. And people that say they don't, you're being lied to. They do this. They've been doing this for a long time. But then so do the other groups that go and oppose them. So they're just one gang against another gang. And I don't know if you're going to technically consider all gangs terrorist groups or not. You can definitely consider them almost organized crime. They're kind of pushing onto that aspect a little bit. But it's just, something that we all need to look at to try to broaden our horizons. And it just from being in my short period of time in the military, only 4 years, but in those 4 years we trained a lot as infantry. It's just the training that they talk about that they did in that is just lackluster. And you also have to remember that the Antifa in the United States in Portland had to be protected by a wall of moms. Yeah, I just said that. They had to be protected by a wall of moms. Let that sink in there for you. So you're not willing to do it by yourself, so you're going to stand behind a group of moms. And then semi-quasi vets. I don't know. They could have been vets. They may not have been vets. No idea. Again, if you're going to stand out there and protest, great. Freedom of speech, man. First Amendment. I'm all for it. And I am all for all of the things that covers. But I am not for destruction of property or trying to force your ideals onto somebody else through intimidation tactics. That's definitely where I do wholeheartedly disagree with that, and a lot of these groups out there that do that. So, anyways, this is me using my voice. Remember to use yours. Again, much love to everybody, and stay safe. Watch out for all the morons out there, because there's lots. We like to propagate and go everywhere, because yes, I know we all are stupid at times. We all do that. So, anyways, you guys take care again. Bye.